If you don't want to be somewhere, just tweet it and your wish will be granted. Bledsoe has been traded to the Milwaukee Bucks in exchange for Greg Monroe and 2 protected picks. The question is this enough to propel the Bucks into elite territory into the Eastern Conference? What's up guys, my name is Mark and let's dive right into this deal. The first thing to point out is that the 2 picks that Milwaukee sent to Phoenix, one being a first rounder and the other being a second rounder, are both protected, and the protections are pretty complicated. I'll leave a link to Woj's tweet that details the protection, but let's get into Bledsoe and how he fits with the Bucks. Let's talk about offense first. As we all know, Giannis has had an incredible start to the season, and he could legitimately win Most Improved Player for a consecutive year, or maybe even Most Valuable Player if he keeps this up. As of the recording of this video, Giannis is averaging roughly 31 points a game, first in the NBA, with a 33.1% usage rate, third in the NBA. While those bode well for his MVP candidacy, it doesn't actually bode very well for how good the Bucks can be. History shows that a player averaging that many points and using up that many possessions almost never converts into winning basketball or playoff success. Kobe 2006, MJ 1987, Westbrook last year. Those types of teams just aren't very good. More importantly, second on the Bucks in usage rate is Chris Middleton at 27.3%, which ranks in the 94th percentile amongst wing players, according to cleaningtheglass.com. Look, I love Chris Middleton, but I've always thought he's super underrated, but he has no business doing that much playmaking for any NBA offense. And very clearly, it's having a negative impact on his efficiency. 41.8% from the field, 26.7% from 3, both of which are well below his career averages. So enter Eric Bledsoe, who last season with the Suns put up 21 points, 6 assists last year with a 28% usage rate. Decent ball handler, fantastic athlete who shoots around 60% at the rim for his career, which is pretty good for a guard, and over the past 3 to 4 years, he has really developed his jump shot both off the dribble and spotting up. According to stats.nba.com, last year Bledsoe scored 1.06 points per possession on spot-up opportunities, which was in the 70th percentile in the league. For the time being, he replaces the scoring that the Bucks have missed with Jabari Parker recovering from his second torn ACL, and that's incredibly important for this Bucks offense that at times has looked extremely stagnant and very painful to watch, especially when Giannis isn't on the court. Bledsoe also had something really interesting happen to him during high school, and you can find the full story on Hardwood Amino. If you don't know what Hardwood Amino is, it's a community of super diehard NBA fans that simply go on there and just talk about basketball. There are polls, quizzes, public chat rooms, high quality original content from the community itself. And they even have live mailbags with some of the NBA insiders. And this Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will actually be joining Sam Vecenie of The Athletic to do a 3-man Q&A live mailbag for you guys, which you can only find on the app itself. If you want to download it, click the link in the description below. So we talked about Bledsoe's offense, but I'm actually more excited for what Bledsoe means for the Bucks defensively. So here's the truth. Bledsoe came into the league and within his first 2 years, established himself as one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, especially on ball. This is a guy who early on for the Clippers would guard opposing point guards 94 feet for entire games. But Bledsoe has not been a good defender for the past season and a half. He frequently takes possessions off and he often makes lazy mistakes. However, there could be a lot of reasons as to why that is. Number one, maybe it's because of his knee injuries. Or it could be because he was the number 1 option carrying the offensive load. Or lastly, he might just not have had a great motivation or reason to play defense on one of the most non-competitive teams in recent years. Now with the Bucks, outside of potential health issues, those are no longer excuses for Eric Bledsoe. Bledsoe clearly still has the talent to be a great defender, and if he can be 80-90% of what he was in his Clippers days or even in his early Phoenix days, this Bucks roster would have one of, if not the most talented defensive squad in the NBA. Especially after they got rid of Greg Monroe, who's been a pretty bad defender in the past couple years. When the Bucks roll out a lineup of Bledsoe, Brogdon, Middleton, Snell, or Parker when he gets back healthy, and Giannis, that lineup can switch almost completely interchangeably with ridiculous length and agility across the board. And real quick, just to address something I've seen on Twitter where people are saying, Bledsoe's only 6'1", he can't switch onto people. There's 2 things I want to point out here. Number 1, Bledsoe weighs over 200 pounds. Look at the way this guy is built. Nobody is pushing him around. Number 2, Bledsoe has a 6'7.5" wingspan. And in the end, wingspan matters more than height anyway, so that's really what you should be looking at. Bottom line is, if Bledsoe puts in the effort, he will be a great defender. Now, the Bucks play an extremely aggressive defensive scheme which features a lot of trapping and double teaming, and we have yet to see this scheme really pan out for them. But after swapping Monroe for Bledsoe, we will have the rest of the season and a very solid sample size to see whether or not Jason Kidd's unique defensive scheme can actually work. Alright, let's go big picture. Where does this put Milwaukee in the East? I think this very well makes them a favorite to grab a top 4 or maybe even top 3 seed in the East. As much as I would like to overhype this trade like some people and talk about, oh my god, get the Bucks, beat the Warriors. Look, assuming the Bucks don't make another major move, this team is not a championship contender. If we define championship contender as being a top 4, top 5 team in the league. I still think that this team's ceiling depends on one of two things happening. Either Jabari Parker staying healthy and developing into a perennial all-star, or Thon Maker fulfilling his potential and developing into a Chris Bosh type of player. Neither of which is a guarantee, and seeing as the Bucks don't historically attract star free agents, to put it lightly, it's going to take major development from their young players to take them to that next level. But of course, that's just my opinion. I'd love to know yours. Comment your thoughts down in the comment section below. Where does this put Milwaukee in the East for you? If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe for the best trade breakdowns and just generally NBA videos on YouTube. Other than that, thanks for watching. I'm MDJ. See you next time.